Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum friends, welcome back to the latest transfer news update that we have for you. Now we're going to be starting with transfer stories. Straight away with AC Milan. Now, as we all know that AC Milan are looking for new additions. They have got the likes of David Origi, who has signed on a free transfer from Liverpool. His contract finished with Liverpool and he's a new AC Milan player. So he is joining officially with AC Milan. He's going to be the number 9 striker, which is really important because Zlatan Ibrahimovic is almost like 41. So they were looking for almost like a replacement. Hello Dimba, thank you very much for tuning in. It's very nice of you to join us after so many days. Hopefully you're fine and we are through with the transfer updates. So what we have over here today is we're going to start with AC Milan, we're going to go towards Barcelona, PSG, and then we'll come back to English Premier League. So with AC Milan, they have signed David Origi, and David Origi he'll be playing for AC Milan now, whereas AC Milan also renewed the contract for Maldini, who is the new sporting director for AC Milan, and he's been improving the team last year as well. Now what he has on his mind is that he wants to get plays as soon as possible. Remember, they lost Botman to Newcastle United. They were very close to sign Renato Sanchez from Lille, but it seems that Renato Sanchez will be moving over to PSG, which will be coming back to later. But AC Milan are right now currently speaking to Chelsea for Hakim Ziyech. They are looking to add him. They want to add him in the AC Milan squad. They won the Serie A title. They want to keep the pressure. They do know that Inter Milan are again getting some quality additions such as Lukaku as well as Dybala, and for that reason AC Milan don't want to rest themselves. They do know that Juventus, they will also come back into the mix. So for that reason it's going to be the case of how it goes further, and for that reason only it's going to happen as soon as possible. They get Ziyech, they'll move on to the other targets. Now speaking on other things, we're also going to be looking at PSG. Now PSG, they have an issue. They have basically sacked Mauricio Pochettino. They are looking for a new manager. They were in talks with Zinedine Zidane, but Zidane wants the France national team job. Now what does that mean for PSG? Luis Campos is the new sporting director for PSG, as according to the will of Mbappe. Now Campos has been working on many deals. He wants Renato Sanchez to be signed on a free. He thinks he's a quality player. Whereas they're also looking at the centre back position. They want to sell Kimpembe, and that is why he has been put on the transfer market. They are really interested in to get Skriniar. They want to get him. 60 million, 70 million euros is the fee that they're looking for. So there might be some sort of an agreement between PSG and Inter Milan, and we might see Skriniar moving over to PSG. Now in regards to Neymar, PSG have signed a new manager, and what he has said is that he has put importance on having Neymar in the team. Now, what does that mean for Mbappe? Mbappe has some other plans. He thought maybe Neymar should leave the team as well as the other players. But now, the thing is, if the new manager comes in and says that he wants Neymar and he has put importance on Neymar being the main player, that means Neymar will get to stay. And so far, there was no reports coming in that other team was interested in him. So we might see Neymar staying in PSG after all. Now, Bayern Munich, they are reportedly interested in De Ligt. De Ligt was basically targeted by Chelsea. Chelsea were really paying a lot of attention on him. They wanted to get him because they've lost Rudiger, they've lost Christensen, and they think that De Ligt is the quality centre back that they need to have. They were also looking at Jules Koundé, but it seems that Jules Koundé might be moving to Barcelona. So for that reason, they are looking at De Ligt. They want De Ligt, and I think it's going to be case of what Juventus do agree. If Juventus do entertain some other clubs as well to come into this bidding war, then it will all depend on who bids the highest. Whereas Bayern Munich do know that De Ligt wants to play for them, but if Bayern Munich aren't able to offer 60 to 70 million euros, that means other clubs will, and we might see De Ligt moving to other clubs rather than Bayern Munich. So Bayern Munich, if they really want him, they will have to dig deep. They will have to somehow raise some cash. I think their focus right now is on Lewandowski. They do know that Barcelona are interested in Lewandowski, but so far Barcelona haven't made any official move due to the fact that they're trying to sell one of their own assets in Frenkie de Jong, and once they've done that, they have the cash, they'll come in for Lewandowski. Once Bayern Munich have that amount of money, then perhaps we might see that they will start negotiating with Juventus for De Ligt. So all these are related to the chain of events. It is a domino effect. One player leaves the club which gets the money then spends on another player, then that club with that money goes and buys some other player. So that is what is going to happen in terms of that rotation, which currently we can see in the Premier League right now. We do know that Manchester City signed Calvin Phillips, and once they signed him, they only signed him because due to the fact that they sold Gabriel Jesus to Arsenal. So this is all related with the clubs to each other. They buy the players, they pay some money, then that club use the money to buy some other player. That is what's going to happen. Now, in case of Premier League, we're going to start with Chelsea. Now, Chelsea, they are looking at Raheem Sterling. They want to get him as soon as possible. They have made a bid for Rafinha. So far, Rafinha hasn't made up his mind whether he would want to come to Chelsea or whether he would still go to Nou Camp. Still, nothing has been done. I think, again, Frankie de Jong deal is kind of really not moving. And if it happens, then we can see Barcelona maybe moving in the transfer market freely as possible. But right now, what they have been able to do is they have been able to announce Kessie as well as Christensen as free transfers. Now, Chelsea, I think Tuchel really likes him. Tuchel thinks that he's a quality winger as well as a false nine striker, and it would suit Thomas Tuchel's style as he likes to play with five at the back, and Raheem Sterling can almost play anywhere up front, on the right wing, on the left wing, as well as a false nine, as Pep Guardiola used to use him. Now, question is that Chelsea are really looking at this market in multiple manners. They do know that Cristiano Ronaldo is available. They would want to try to get him, as the new owners would want they would want some sort of you could say a little bit highlight kind of transfer move. Like if they get Cristiano Ronaldo, that's gonna make some wave. That means that they're gonna make some good PR in the newspapers, in the social media all over the world, that they've signed Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, will Cristiano Ronaldo would want to leave for Chelsea? That's another question. Remember, he has played for Manchester United in the Premier League, but let's see. It doesn't. It depends on what happens. So we're going to find out about that as well. Moving on, for Chelsea, their main priority is to get those centre backs. Let's see what do they do on that front. And we're going to move over to Manchester City. Manchester City currently are right now looking at Cucurella. They want that left back. They want him to be a new Manchester City player. I think it all depends on Brighton. If they get a replacement, then most probably Manchester City would go in for him and make a bid and try to get him. And that is what the plan is for Manchester City. I will be coming back to Manchester United. Just before that, I'll be speaking about Arsenal. Arsenal are still talking to Lisandro Martinez. They want to get him, and they think that Manchester United do have that pull, but they still are making their best that they want to get the player. So let's see what do the player decide. It all depends in the end, and if the player decide to come to Arsenal, then Arsenal will truly get their man. Now, talking about Gnabry, it has been reported that Arsenal are not looking at Gnabry. They are not interested in him. They are looking at other positions. So that means Gnabry won't be joining his old club. Now, coming back to Manchester United. Manchester United have signed Malacia from Feyenoord with 15 million euro fee, 2 million euros add-ons. Now, Malacia is the first ever signing for Erik ten Hag in Manchester United. With Frankie de Jong, still it's you could say a waiting game, because due to the fact that the 20 million add-ons structure has not been decided by both of the clubs. Whereas Christian Eriksen is going to be the second signing. He has given a verbal agreement. That means he will just have his medical, sign the contract, and he'll be the new Manchester United player. Now, in concern with Manchester United regarding Cristiano Ronaldo, will they go back into search for a striker? What I'm going to do is I'm going to be coming back in this evening, and I'll be running a poll in which we will try to see what kind of in terms of aspects of what strikers can Manchester United go out for, which are currently available. And in that case scenario, we'll run a poll. We will try to find 8 strikers, and then we will see what do you guys decide in that case. I'll be coming back at 8 p.m. UK time, in which we will see what you guys decide, which kind of striker should Manchester United go for. Now, Manchester United, they are also looking at Anthony, but it seems that it all depends on Frankie de Jong. Once that is sorted, then Frankie de Jong will come into mix. Now, regarding Lisandro Martinez, I think there is a shift, because if De Ligt is being made available by Juventus, then I'm sure that Erik ten Hag would love to have him. And Manchester United, if they lose Martinez to Arsenal, then they might go in for De Ligt, even though it's going to be a little bit costly. But we'll see what happens with that one. They're still keeping an eye on that one. Now, moving on to Leeds United. Leeds United are working really hard behind the scenes to get correct transfers, to get correct players. They've got Tyler Adams from RB Leipzig. They are also working on the deal to get Sinistera from Feyenoord, which is going to cost them 25 million and plus add-ons. So that's 25 million euros, guys, not pounds. So that means it's going to be a pretty good deal getting the likes of Tyler Adams, getting the likes of Sinistera. So that means Leeds United are spending the money from Calvin Phillips pretty well by rebuilding the squad. As in regards to Everton, Everton have signed Tarkovsky. They are looking still at Zinchenko. They want Zinchenko as the utmost priority. But there is Chelsea again who are interested in Zinchenko as well. But let's see what Lampard can do. Can he be able to get Zinchenko? I think it's going to be a little bit tough, because if Chelsea are in, Chelsea can offer the Champions League football. Maybe that's a little bit, you could say, an attraction for Zinchenko. But if Lampard has really spoken to him multiple times, then you never know, Zinchenko might choose to play for Everton. But that is so far what it has been reported. In concerning with Gallagher, in concern with Harry Winks, still nothing new has come up. We're still waiting what happens. I think Everton are going to be a little bit cautious in terms of going back into the market. They don't want to make those silly mistakes again. So they might look for some other more sales, more outgoings, and then they would want to spend the money wisely. Whereas concerning Calvert-Lewin, I think Calvert-Lewin is going to be a late transfer outgoing. It depends on what the clubs want to do. And I will report in what Calvert-Lewin best place would be to go to, and we'll discuss about that a little bit later in the evening session. Now, coming back to the point of West Ham United, they're still talking to Juma. They want Lingard as well. So West Ham United are trying their pretty best to get these players. Now, West Ham United do know that there will be some interest for Gerard Bowen, and the player which they most likely are going to sell is going to be Said Benrahma. So let's see what happens on that front. Now, in other news, we have also said to you guys that in regards to Liverpool are not looking currently at anything, but there might be a case of a midfielder coming in a little bit later. But we will find out about that one as the window progresses, because there might be the fact that, Thiago gets injured, Henderson gets injured, so Milner gets injured as well. So they might look out for a new midfielder, as Minamino has left as well. So we will see how that one goes. And concerning regarding other teams, so far this is what we have. And exactly, he will be very tempted to play with Mykolenko, Zinchenko. He will have his friend over there, and I think there's going to be big attraction. I think the bigger attraction over here is the trust by Lampard in him, because Lampard have spoken to him multiple times. So I think if a manager speaks to a player so many times, I think that almost works. Because if Thomas Tuchel hasn't spoken to Zinchenko, even though Chelsea are in the Champions League position, but depending on Lampard, if he really wants him as a number one target, I think that's going to count as much, because Zinchenko would want to get a move in which he's really wanted, not because he is just part of the picture. He wants to be wanted, because he felt in a manner in City that he wasn't wanted by Pep Guardiola. He was almost used by Pep Guardiola. So I think if Frank Lampard says to him, you know what, I'm going to use you differently, I want you to play differently for Everton, and the way he plays for his national team, I think that's going to play on his mind, and he's going to be more and more tilted towards Everton rather than Chelsea. But you never know, Chelsea can offer more money. Maybe that Champions League thing again, you never say never. But I think his best move would be to move to Everton, because at Everton he'll get that free license. He can play as that number 10, he can play as that number 8, he can play on that left wing, he can play freely, like without any restraint. So I think that'll be his best move. But let's see what happens with Zinchenko. So for Leicester City, so far we haven't heard anything other than that Tielemans is still wanted by Arsenal. Arsenal would want to get him. The valuation, they want to go a little bit late in the window, because they think that Leicester City might be desperate to sell him. So in that manner, the valuation might come low. So that is what Arsenal are trying to work. Maybe Manchester United as well. So we'll see what happens with Tielemans and Leicester City. And so far, these are the updates what we have for in this window. Hopefully you guys will be tuning in the evening session at 8 p.m. so we can discuss about what Manchester United could do in the transfer market, if Cristiano Ronaldo leaves, we're going to look at the 8 strikers. We're going to run a poll in which you guys are going to help me by deciding which striker should Manchester United go for, and hopefully it will be really good discussion as well as many of the stories which are developing right now. So I want to thank you very much. Hopefully you guys will be joining and tuning in for the evening session at 8 p.m. UK time. So please do tune in for the evening session. And I want to thank you very much, Dimba, for tuning in. It's really nice of you that you come every single time. And hopefully I'll see you in the evening session at 8 p.m. So thank you very much, guys, for watching, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.